don't know about you, but I feel like every pair of Nike shoes I bought in the last year or two, they all seem real tight width wise. That's true, or you feel that way, drop a comment below. Um, I got quite a few pairs. Maybe I just need to get a different width now. Buying, Nikes are a long time like everybody else. Um, but man, god damn it! Every time that I buy a pair, that I feel like they're tight as shit. But something on a going with this article here. I knew they were going to blame supply chain because it's easier to say, and I'm sure that's part of the issue. Everyone's got supply chain issues right now, so this probably isn't a false statement, right? This is true. But can we be surprised that when we stop pumping money into the system, that you're going to see retail stocks go down? And this is something Kane and I talk about often on our show. Um, we're both investors, stock investors, whatever. We play the market here and there. We follow this stuff, and it's just we were all kind of looking at retail with a grain of salt, knowing that once people got to start paying rent again, once they got to start paying their school loans again, and once the fat unemployment ends, misconception, not all unemployment is ending, only that extra federal bonus is kind of coming to an end. Unemployment still exists. But when that extra money gets pulled out of the system, what do you think is going to happen? And we look at that from two ways. We look at it from the revenue side of a company, and we also look at it as what if you work for this company, XYZ company. And if you were like in sales or marketing or strategy and things really boomed for the last 18 months and you were sitting around pounding your chest saying, hey, the things that I did in marketing or sales, that's why these sales are up. Well, you might get a wake up call because you're about to find out that a lot of that was a market force coming from the trillions of dollars that were pumped into the system. So, not saying what you did didn't contribute to it. I'm sure you made some crafty moves in sales and marketing and strategy, but everyone was kind of getting paid in the last 18 months, unless you were in the hospitality industry, you were hurting. Retail side, if you talk to anybody in retail, online orders booming, like just curbside booming, people making money left and right. We overconsumed. So when you stop pumping trillions of dollars into the system, you're probably going to expect revenue to drop. And you took the credit on the career side when things were booming. Are you ready to take the beating when your board's looking at you and saying, hey, sales are down, 7, 8, 9, 10%. What are you doing about it? And there's probably not much you're going to do about it. Are we ever going to go back to those levels where there was trillions of extra dollars pumped into the economy? It's going to be that was like the highest high, right? It's going to be hard to meet that expectation anymore. And then on the flip side of that is what effect does it have on the stock price? You can't expect revenue to go up in that um, pretty good trajectory that it was with trillions of dollars pumped in. So you see Nike stock down right now, only 6%, down a 10 spot there. And I'm sure supply chain was a big part of it. When are we going to wake up and realize that retail was booming because of the excess money that was in the system? Um, and reality will set in when you really see the jobs starting to get filled again. Right now, there's a lot of people that probably should go back to work. They're not going to go back to work until that checking account starts to get empty. So there's a lot of money still sloshing around. There's a lot of money sitting in banks right now. Debt's also rising. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But I can't. I gotta expect if you start looking at all the major retail stocks, especially consumer goods, um, you gotta imagine that things are gonna take a hit. I think it was Michael Kors I was looking at some point, or whoever owns Michael Kors, and at some point their stock just like doubled or some shit. And I'm like, what the hell's going on right now? And it just dawned on me how much money that is in the system is getting spent on probably shit we don't even need. Um, Everyone's closet is like mad stacked right now. So that's also pull ahead sales. You got so much shit in your closet right now. That's going to be less stuff you're going to buy over the next year or two. So we're going to have a combination of things happen here potentially. One, you're going to, well, we already seen the tapering off of stimulus money and unemployment money, and you actually have to pay your bills now. way less money going into the system. And then you're going to counter that in with, we bought a whole bunch of shit, so we're not going to need to buy as much stuff in the next year or two. So that's what I call pull ahead sales. There's probably some fancy textbook name in academia for that. I call pull ahead sales. So we're going to need to consume less because we have so much shit, and or the secondary markets are going to become flooded with goods as people offload them. On top of the fact we're not going to have the excess money to go spend. It seems like that's doom and gloom talk for the retail industry and consumer goods, but it may not be true. Shit might just keep going straight up. We don't know. Um, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see here. I know a lot of people that bought a lot of shit in the last 18 months, and I gotta imagine closets are full. We have more shoes than we need. Our pantries are stuffed full. Everyone's stocked up on toilet paper. Um, you can't buy, you couldn't buy an RV or a boat or a jet ski. All that shit was sold out. At some point, when you don't need to buy the next RV or the next boat, um, what happens? Um, that market's going to take a hit. And then when things get bad, people start offloading those goods. So the used market, that secondary market's going to become full of, the liquidity on used shit. It's going to be probably amazing if this really happens. To the point where the economy takes a little bit of a shit and people got to start selling all the stuff they bought in the last 18 months. So you can see a compounded issue that gets really messy really fast if that happens. I'm not sure that happens. I think the government might keep pushing money into the system. We don't know. It seems like, between Trump and Biden, they didn't mind writing checks, man. It's print that money. That money press was running full tilt. And they might do it again. We don't know. It's 1 minute you're looking at someone saying that watch out for this variant, and then the next moment they're saying within a year the Delta variant might be the last big variant. I was like, what? I've seen those two articles back to back on the same site, contradicting themselves, and not even contradicting themselves. It was just opposing news. They're reporting on two different stories that had different views, and all that really tells you is nobody knows shit right now. We don't need they don't know if we need a booster or don't need a booster. We don't know what's going to go on with treatments. If this works, if that works. Think about how many times you saw the CDC and news reports and research flip-flop on masks. Don't wear a mask. Wear a mask. Masks don't work. Wear 2 masks. Wear 3 masks. It's like, we don't know shit. We can't even figure out if masks work or don't. And we're expecting them to have answers on what's going to go on with vaccinations and the virus in 2022. Yeah, we don't. So who knows? Things could get back to normal. Stock market keeps going up. We get supply chain fixed up. Life goes back to normal. People don't work. More variants hit. We don't put more stimulus money into the system. Shit crashes. Who knows? If I look how this could play out, we stop pumping money into the system because we have too much money in the system. We overconsumed on goods. We have too much shit in our homes right now. And then, revenues drop, stock market drops, people panic. A lot of people put money into the stock market that they're gambling with right now. When they can't afford to lose that money, they pull it out. How many times have we seen this happen? Crypto's crashing right now because of what China said. I got another episode where I talked about, the Biden administration. They appointed someone for banking regulation or some shit that is kind of anti-crypto. And you're going to see these cryptos get crushed. There's going to be a lot of wealth. There's a lot of wealth made, a lot of wealth about to get lost. Man, a lot of economic turmoil here in the next 12 or 18 months. And as I say, there's always a tremendous amount of money to be made. Is it Dow up 25 points right now? I could have swore this shit was down. I don't know. I got Ellie Bloomberg on all day. I can't say I fully pay attention all the time. But as I say, there's money to be made as long as the market's going up and down. It's goddamn difficult to make money when the market just goes sideways. So whether it's going up or down, there's going to be some opportunities here. I would keep an eye on retail stocks, anywhere where you felt like all those stimulus checks and big unemployment and all that type of stuff. A lot of the consumer goods, a lot of luxury goods. I would keep an eye on all those stocks. I don't know where those are going to go. But we'll see. I mean, maybe we're so addicted to spending and consuming, we just keep doing it. That I don't know. We were used to doing things that we weren't used to doing for the last 18 months. Maybe it's a habit now. So we'll see. Anyways, that's all I got for this one. I'm going to catch you on the next one.